Please listen carefully.
Hello, universe. Welcome to the Optimist Daily Update. I'm Summers McKay.
And I'm Kristy Jansen, and we're part of the team behind the Optimist Daily, making solutions the news. We bring you reader-funded solutions news every day in order to change the tenor of news media, social media, and the direction of your day to one focused on solutions.
7 days a week, we publish positive news stories written by award-winning journalists and delivered online to your inbox and through our social channels. And also, we are sharing the solutions in a commute-worthy, walk-worthy, home office-worthy podcast. Today is Thursday, the 8th of July, 2021. Hello, Kristy. How are you today?
I'm fine, and feels like this week has gone by super quickly.
It has.
That's what I love about short
doing
weeks.
that. Yes. Oh, yeah. Short weeks are really valuable for a lot of reasons. Before we get into the stories, which it's almost like the editors knew what we wanted to talk about when they picked their stories for today. But before we get into that, I want to just talk a little bit about squirrel busting bird feeders. Because, as you know, my ornithology passion has gone crazy since moving to this area. And this past weekend, I went to a local bird feed store here called Wild Birds Unlimited. And I asked for their, best squirrel busting bird feeders. Because while I appreciate feeding the squirrels and I love them, the squirrels have gotten very protective, and the birds are like, I'm not really into it.
They're getting kind of fat. Are those squirrels getting fat?
The squirrels are kind of chunky. The birds are kind of not that happy with them. Anyway, so I got 2 of these squirrel busting bird feeders, and what they are is it's basically like the weight of the bird feeder closes the access point so that if a bird is on it, right, they're light enough that they're not going to close the feeder, but a squirrel that hangs upside down on it is going to close the feeder. So they are tending to be relatively effective. In fact, this morning, just so far, I've had 2 tufted titmouses, 1 painted bunting, and 1 fully red cardinal. Absolutely beautiful. And also a whole lot of very frustrated and angry squirrels. I will say, though, when I was going online to do research, there was this one product that I did not purchase that was a squirrel flinging bird feeder. And so apparently it spins. Cool. Yeah. So it spins when the squirrels are hanging on it. It spins and throws them off. And so I was like, all right, well, I've got to read the Amazon reviews on this one. And they were quite funny, but many of the Amazon reviews were like, well, if you really wanted to get this to watch squirrels fly, it's actually so effective that squirrels don't keep coming back. So it's not as entertaining as you would hope. And then my other strategy is that I got some bird seed that has super hot, flaming hot bird seed, which apparently squirrels don't like. And I did watch one of my squirrels rather shockingly eat it and then run and start drinking water out of the pool.
Wait, so the birds aren't bothered by spicy seeds that the
birds are
like?
Not. Yeah, birds are not bothered by spice. They don't have tongues, right? They don't really have taste buds.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah. So to everyone listening to the Optimist Daily Update, that is the report from Summer's bird watching house.
All right. Well, I'm about to be inundated with extra sound in my office here, so let's get into the stories today.
Okay. So, as much as we'd like to talk about birds all day, we should talk about work, right, Kristy?
Yes.
How much
so
work
I'll do
should
my
we talk
story
about?
first.
Exactly.
I'll do mine first. Okay. So this headline that I think is really wonderful and something we should think about reads, the world's largest 4-day workweek trial is declared an overwhelming success. And we've written about the 4-day workweek on the Optimist Daily before, and it's been gaining momentum over the years. The new government of New Zealand, Singapore, and Spain have all openly been considering the concept. We wrote about a pilot in New Zealand. Japan has explored this, different companies in these different parts of the world. And typically it's been pretty successful when they have employed this for periods of time. The wide-ranging benefits address productivity. Actually, sometimes productivity goes up. It's beneficial for mental health. It's also beneficial for the environment as fewer people drive. And I mean, the work from home experiment is also. But Iceland, over the last 4 years, has been undergoing experiment with a 4-day working week. The study's results are in, and they are declaring it an overwhelming success that should be tested everywhere. Part of the scheme in Iceland, about 1% of the entire working population participated in this pilot. It cut the usual work hour, the 40-hour work week, down to 35 to 36 hours with no reduction in overall pay. And the trials ran from 2015 to 2019 and involved over 2,500 people. What they found is that productivity significantly improved, well-being significantly improved. Trade unions in the country are now negotiating for reduced working hours following the study results. So now 86% of Iceland's entire workforce has either moved to shorter hours for the same pay or will soon gain the right to do so. So I think this is really an interesting study and an interesting lesson for us that maybe our obsessive need to always be busy.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah,
right?
it's
just
not
the insane need to just keep going.
Yeah. And maybe it's something we should rethink for ourselves and for our whole society. Overall, the employees that participated in this, and these were both 9 to 5 employees and also non-standard shifts, but overall, less stress, less burnout, healthier work-life balance. If you think about it, if those people are staying home and having like 3-day weekends, we were talking about this before summers, you can go on a vacation, and that could boost tourism in your country. Having that extra day, as we did this week with having Monday off, it's so nice to have that extra day to just like do stuff and do nothing.
Yeah, I love the idea of a 4-day work week. I love the idea of recognizing people's increased productivity and then the time that you have to take care of yourself. The one caveat I would add on this one is that having a 4-day work week is only so helpful as also having childcare.
Yeah.
Because having Brendan home for 3 days was fantastic and amazing, but I'm not going to lie, she was bored of us by the end of it. And by this morning when she woke up, she just literally went into her room and took every toy off the shelf because she was just bored. And we just had to shift our focus. I don't think it's reasonable to assume that you'd have a 4-day work week, but all childcare workers would be on a 5-day work week. So
what you might have to do is have like weekend camps or something like that, where there's a weekend fun thing for the little kiddies. And, so you get your own day, Summers, of not having to work, but also not having to.
I know, because when 3-day weekends come around, it's usually like I shower right before I pick her up from school. And then the next shower I get is when I like beg my husband or the older kids to please take her for 18 minutes so I can like shower and brush my teeth and floss all in the same half hour.
Yeah. Well, that will lessen as she gets more independent, which she will certainly.
Yes,
but
exactly.
I understand your stress there.
I love the idea of a 4-day work week, and oftentimes at the Optimist Daily, we try really hard to make sure everybody has what we call our work independent days, where we get the bulk of our meetings done, and then everyone has their independent work day where they're going to do a lot of the work that they might do to prepare or get stories written or presentations done, but they can do it on their own schedule in their own time. And as long as their work gets done and we all show up to work on Monday morning, it's game on. So I like the idea that when any of our employees or our team members needs that independent work day, we say, sure, by all means, go do it, get it done, and we'll see you at work.
Yeah, but I do think that it's interesting to think about the cultural expectations and what does being fully employed mean? What does being busy mean? And I think we get so attached to kind of the virtue signaling of always being busy.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
We should think about it on a bigger level. Like maybe it's better to have some just downtime that is where you're not busy and you can just think or just be or be with friends or be with your family or just be in nature and not have the pressure to always be producing.
Well, and also maybe we should all get a little more sleep.
Yeah. So what are you going to talk about today?
Yeah. All right. Well, my headline reads similar. It's obviously like Self-Care Thursday here at the Optimist Daily, but why we should hold on to our pandemic sleep habits. According to a study from University of Colorado, go Buffs, students slept an average of 30 minutes longer each night while attending remote courses. We know this was true for teenagers. Kristy, your son also
yeah, this is
said,
definitely, this is why Adam's main justification for staying home and not going to work.
Yep. These sleep habits, they translated over to weekends as well. And workers who didn't have to get up early for a commute are also getting more sleep. And even young children free from their parents' work schedules are able to follow a more natural wake up and nap schedule. So it turns out that we're aligning with our circadian rhythms a bit more during the pandemic, resulting in better sleep and healthier outcomes. Humans are meant to be awake during the day, asleep at night, but circadian rhythms can fluctuate slightly depending on genetics, hormones, external factors, lights and noise. And what this allowed is for everybody to settle into what their natural circadian rhythm might be. So what this means for work is basically people's natural sleep and wake times can vary by up to 10 hours. So while starting work at 9 a.m. might be ideal for some employees, it doesn't work for everyone. The good thing is these external factors decreased, like the risk factors of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes both went down during the pandemic because of increased sleep. And this just reiterates the value of flexible work schedules or educational cohorts with varying start times. Yes, that would be requiring some getting used to and figuring it all out. But I love the fact that we did have some health benefits that came out of the suspension of reality pandemic time. It was 2019 to 2021 ambiguously therein. So I know I slept better. I know that Brennan and I, we co-sleep and sleep as long as she possibly can. And I took to just going to bed with her, and it made a big difference for our lives. So what else, Kristy, is on the Optimist Daily today?
Well, other headlines on today's Optimist Daily. Spanish parents invent high-tech augmented reality glasses to help their sons see. A mother-daughter duo opens first menstrual hub in the country. I'm not sure what country that is. I haven't read that article yet. Ancient carved bone demonstrates Neanderthals were capable of symbolic art. No surprise
cool. Yep.
But it's pretty cool. Tadpoles bred in Nashville could help save endangered Puerto Rico toad. And you get what you sweat. The perks and benefits of hot yoga, which Summers, I think that's amusing for you, since I know from your social media feeds, you got a hot yoga walk.
Yeah, I called it my Bikram walk on 4th of July. I took the baby out early in the morning, and she's got a little fan on her stroller and is just happy as a clam. But holy goats, it was hot, and I was just pouring sweat, and I called it my Bikram walk. I miss hot yoga. I know there are huge perks and health benefits to hot yoga, and I look forward to returning to a practice. Perhaps on my 4-day work week, I'll get it on that 5th day. Hey, Kristy. Thanks for being here today, and everybody, thank you for listening to the Optimist Daily Update. We promise to continue to share positive, solution-based stories with ideas on how you can participate in this changing world and ensure it is changed for the good. We promise to cover current events with accuracy, legitimate sources, and offer you the information needed most to chart new paths for all of us. As always, you know the deal, $5 a month. Please consider becoming an emissary on optimistdaily.com. Support reader-funded independent journalism. Hey, everybody, get a good night's sleep tonight. Follow your circadian rhythms. Sleep in tomorrow. And ask your boss for Friday off. Why not? Happy Thursday, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.